Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I am Chris, joined by my brothers Adam and Eric.
Hello.
We are back in the digital room to talk more about video games and to give our take on the Xbox Series X game show, which was shown on Thursday. What was the date? Does anyone remember?
24th? 25th.
23rd.
No, what?
It was the
23rd.
23rd of July. Okay, just in case.
I don't know why it said 25th because I just looked at my like obviously the date, the fucking calendar thing on my laptop, and it says 26th. I'm a fucking moron. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. I got there before all our listeners could say it.
So, yeah, it was a few days ago at point of recording, but by the time this comes out, I suppose it's just one of the preface when it actually was, and that we have the chance to get around to actually talk about it, give our take on it. We gave our take on the PlayStation reveal event, so we feel it's only fair as well to talk about the Xbox One. Plus, we're interested in games, so it showed off some new games, some that people I think knew about were coming, and some that were like totally brand new. There was a couple of world premieres thrown in there, which they showcased.
Just a couple.
Just a few. There was actually a shitload. How many? They showed something like 16 games altogether or something, or did I make that up? Something like that. It was like there was a huge chunk of games they showed. First of all, just before we actually kick into it, because Eric, I hear you say, did they? And you didn't actually watch the PS5 reveal event. You actually just followed up with the trailer. Did you watch the showcase this time, or did you just watch the trailers?
I just watched a few game trailers.
Oh,
so
right.
I did I
Okay.
didn't see it. Again, when it was on, I was in work. Every time they showed a thing, I'm in work. So.
Oh yeah, no, but you can still watch it.
Yeah, it's up there.
Like I didn't watch it live. I watched it after the fact because I was working too.
Yeah, but I was in work, so.
So that's my reason. Okay, never mind. Let's burst straight into it. So, yeah. From what we saw, what did people think, or what did I know you actually watched the showcase when it was live.
I did, and then I think I chimed out. I can't remember what was the last thing that was being shown, because I saw the trailer for Fable. Was that the last thing?
That was the very last.
Or was there something else after that?
No, to my knowledge, that was the last one. They showed something, and then they said they're kind of wrapping it up, and then they said,
"Oh, okay.
We've got one more reveal for you guys," and it was Fable.
Okay, I did see the whole thing then, because I do know that I just kind of went off and I kind of clocked out, but I wasn't sure whether I missed anything towards the end. I was really looking forward to the showcase, because I felt the previous. Well, I actually liked the console announcement. It was, I think, the last thing they showed basically.
Yep.
Was the Series X. I really liked that. And the trailer that they showed initially for Halo Infinite at that point, which was 2 years ago. I thought that looked.
That was a few years ago anyway.
Yeah, I thought that looked incredible. I was like, I cannot wait to see what they show. But honestly, I was really underwhelmed.
Okay.
I had just such a confused look on my face throughout the whole thing, where I'm like, I'm not really sure, like, what's the selling point here, like, throughout, like, it does not just Halo, but every game, because it's like a lot of these I can play on my current console, some of them I can play on my PC, some of them they're saying they're exclusive, but are they? Some are saying they're console exclusive, others are just time exclusive, but they're not actually being upfront about that. I just found the message really confusing.
Right.
So I just kind of left it kind of going, I was hoping that this was going to sell me on why I need a Series X, and I'm yet to have that feeling.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Eric? From what you saw, what do you think of what they showed as kind of a whole?
Nothing really seemed graphically improving, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if we take like the Fable trailer, because you mentioned it, that was at first I was like, oh wow, look at those graphics, but then I kind of had like a second glance. I was like, oh, that's just CGI. That's just a CGI video. That doesn't in any way show off the gameplay mechanics. If we talk about Halo Infinite, which again is their big selling game, they're fantastic games with such great characters, memorable characters.
Yeah.
The graphics looked weird. They did like, and I think that had a bit of a controversy. Now I'd imagine it's not finished, so I imagine it's going to look better when they.
They're saying that, but it's coming out this year. Like,
Oh,
I don't think they're going
I
to
didn't know there was any kind of controversy around Halo. Maybe I've there. Am I, or was there?
online.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not. I think
there-
controversy is a
I
bit
thought everyone was very
but-
excited for Halo Infinite. No.
There
Well,
are a lot of people excited, but the general consensus is that
Like they're
there's
excited,
just
but the
something
graphics are
odd. Look, there's something odd about this game that people can't seem to put their finger on. I just watched Digital Foundry did a video to try break down and try and explain to people why they feel odd with it. But when you watch it back, like there's texture pop-ins in areas where at this point there shouldn't be. Modeling on characters and weapons don't even look as good as previous Halo games.
No,
Um,
like at the minute I saw Master Chief, I was like, oh, he looks straight out of like Halo 3 back on Xbox 360. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he
like
looks very
there's
flat and
definitely a
everything.
sense of like I think the art design is definitely wanting to call back to Combat Evolved and Halo 3, which
Yeah.
I think is great. I think it's a good idea to hit back on that nostalgia. But it's just at this point, it's odd that this is an Xbox One game. I think
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
really holding it back. I think they should have just went all out, make a Series X.
Is this because they're determined to kind of and I'm sure lots of people are happy with this, but the games, all the games that they were showing are going onto the Game Pass, and as a result, most of them need to work on both consoles. Or have I
Well,
did
not
I
all
pick
of them
that up
do,
wrong?
you see, because some of the games shown there, which they looked compelling, but again, it's kind of hard to tell because they're just trailers. It almost felt like we're watching a Ubisoft conference.
Yeah.
Like State of Decay, I believe is Series X only, and Windows, but in terms of consoles, Series X only.
Yeah.
By
By the way, I must say, because like you used the word underwhelming there when you said you were watching it, and at the time when you were watching it, I wasn't watching it yet, but you did say prepare to be underwhelmed in a message, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I must say, when I was watching it and the trailer for State of Decay came on, I didn't know what it was. For a second, I was like, Adam, what the fuck are you talking about? This looks incredible. Look at those graphics. And then I realized, I was like, that's not at all what this game is going to look like. State of Decay 3, I was like, I've never even heard of the first two. There's no way it looks that good.
No.
Well, sorry, I've heard of them, but I
See,
don't
it
know
could.
what they're like.
Like
you think
it
it'll look that
could
good?
look
I
like
felt
it could possibly.
Yeah, there's just so many games that showed. I was like, the trailers are really good. I think they are really good. Like, they look great.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what the actual game is like. Like,
Yeah.
not even a hint of what the game.
That's just the thing. Like, I think a lot of those games could end up actually looking that good, just with how powerful the console is. Even what we saw with Hellblade: Senua's Saga. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sacrifice.
That
isn't it?
no, Sacrifice was the first one.
All right.
They have like the in-game engine kind of graphics, and it looked unbelievable. So I think those games could possibly look that good, but we're just not sure if they do because all we saw was trailers. And the thing is that the reason I'm kind of like I don't know is just because it's kind of like the Bethesda announcement of like was it the Elder Scrolls 6?
And Starfield, yeah.
Yeah,
just
it's like
kinda
you
here's
get
the
this
name.
trailer just saying like Elder Scrolls 6, and it's like, yeah, but like when is that actually going to come out?
Yeah, basically,
Um,
it's just them letting you know this is going to come at some point.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Microsoft said straight out that there won't be like an exclusive or standalone Series X exclusive for another 2 years. So anything that said Series X on it, like alone, that's not coming out with console launch at all. So everything in the next 2 years should play on the Xbox One. So it's like, why do I need a Series X then?
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I mean,
Yeah.
there's two ways you could look at that, because you could go, oh well, that's actually very generous and it's not so money grabby, you know, because you could be very cynical and go, well, the fact that every new game that's coming out now is only going to play on the new console is just them trying to force me to buy the next console, and who has that kind of money, and you're putting pressure on parents for Christmas time, and you could go down that road. But then you also go down that road where you go, well, what's the point in buying a new console, since the one I already have will play the new game? So yeah, I'll just hold off until I need to buy one.
Which is fine for them,
two
because
ways
that's not their that's not their market strategy. The market strategy is definitely in services. Game Pass is essentially that's their next gen console is Game Pass, and they want to sell you Game Pass, which is why it's on every Xbox plus Windows. But I think for more savvy gamers, that's going to be a very sound marketing strategy. I think like a lot of like people who are into gaming that would have all three consoles and would buy 5 games a year or whatever would absolutely buy into Game Pass. But the average person doesn't even know what the hell Game Pass is.
I didn't know what it was. I remember you kept bringing up you were playing something on Game Pass, and the first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is that? I have no idea.
There's actually only 20. I think it's only like 25% of PlayStation players actually has PS Plus.
Yeah, is Game Pass more popular? I would say it is. Is it like?
I don't know. It's hard to tell what the I don't think Microsoft are sharing numbers, but it's just such a hard thing to try and communicate. I just think it's a lot easier. Although I think Microsoft's approach could be more consumer friendly than Sony's. Yeah. I just think the next generation PS5 model is much easier to communicate. It's like, this is a brand new system with brand new games. Buy it. As opposed to
right.
like this other model, which is like, here's a bunch of games that may work on this one will only work on that one, this one will also work on your PC, but you need this service, and if you have this service, it'll go on Xbox and PC, but this service alone will only go on Xbox. And some of them are like got this smart delivery, some of them don't. It's just I think it's really confusing, the whole thing.
Right, yeah. Well, I tell you what confuses me when it comes to Xbox. Like I'm not bashing them in any way. 360 was a really good console. I really enjoyed it. But their naming process confuses the shit out of me. Just put a number after it. Because it was Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I don't get it at all. That confuses the hell out of me. It makes it hard to kind of, I don't know. I find it's kind of hard to follow in terms of which one came next.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if you follow the shit, but if you're just someone who's going to walk into the shop to buy the new console, it's very clear the PS5 is newer than the PS4, as opposed to, I don't know. I just think the naming structure is weird. There's no theme.
It was the weirdest when they had Xbox 360, Xbox One. And it's like, what? Like, what? What? Like, why? What? Series X kind of sounds like, okay, you're going for like, this does sound better. Like, Series X sounds like this is more advanced. It kind of almost sounds like that's the type of thing you put on the name of a car.
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely named after that.
So, but then when you have Xbox Series X, like that sounds like, you got the BMW Series X.
I agree with you. But I just can't tell whether Adam was joking or not when he said that.
No, I'm not joking.
Like, isn't it a car?
Yeah, like the X, like an X model or an S model is generally something that's used for a high-end car. Apple did the same with the iPhone.
Yes, yeah, I guess.
We had the whatever S indicates kind of like a newer model, or the X then is again it's a newer model. So, and they said straight out is that we just wanted to kind of, it's very, when you see those letters, it indicates like speed and performance, etc. And with the Xbox, you saw that there was one S and the one X. So they're using those letters that are used as car terminologies that indicate speed and performance. So yeah,
all right, okay.
It is what they're doing.
Cool. I didn't pick up on that, but it's cool that you did. I liked it during the showcase that there was moments where the new Xbox would like open up and it'd show you like the parts of it.
Yeah, I love shit
I thought
like
that was really cool. I thought that was like,
I really, really love that console design, just in terms of how it's built and how it's put together.
Have you decided which design you prefer?
Between the two?
Yeah.
I don't know.
'Cause
I
you were
want to see.
undecided the last time.
Yeah, I want to see more of the PS5. Like, I'd like to see it like a hands-on. I've seen a few people on YouTube hands-on with the Series X, and they're actually taking it apart and putting it back together and stuff, and it's just actually so satisfying.
Right.
I'd like to see something like that with the PS5 as well.
Yeah.
Then maybe make my mind up, or see them in person as well. But no, I can't. I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer.
Which game then that they showed during the showcase would you guys be most excited for, or which game would like caught your attention the most? The obvious one was like the one everyone was excited for, I suppose, was Halo, right?
Yeah.
I was really surprised they showed it first. I thought they were gonna hold off and like save that as like a big, like I mean, I hate to make comparisons, but you can't help it. There is a console war as well at the same time. It's not a war, but you know what I mean. There is competition. The PlayStation knew that Horizon 2 was one that people were rumoring about and talking about, and they knew it was one that people were excited for. They didn't open with it. They saved it to one of the last ones. You know what I mean? Like, I was just very surprised that Halo, which was the big heavy hitter, because I feel like some people could have went, okay, I've seen it now, I can shut it off. And there was some other great stuff, but that's the one that I imagine would have kept people watching.
I don't mind them opening with it, but I actually did think that the demo was pretty poor.
I would agree. Yeah, I didn't think it was very good.
Look very compelling. Like, the person playing it didn't look like it didn't look like it was kind of thought out. So normally they have like a kind of a vertical slice of a game, and it's going to be certain beats they have to meet, and it's to kind of show you what the game can offer, and generally those gameplay kind of footages are very compelling, but it kind of just looked like someone from the audience just picked up the controller and had to go.
Well, it's kind of like, do you remember when they showed off for Uncharted 3 way back to show off what they're going for? They showed off the airplane sequence. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very important which sequence you decide to show. Yeah, it was weird that they just pretty much just showed, like, and here's, like, any of a number of encounters, I imagine. Like,
here's you're on the Halo ring fighting the Covenant again. Well, hey, isn't this so different?
I mean, I get it, right? If you're a Halo fan, right, I imagine it's just as, I mean, you're already in it, right? You don't care really what it looks like. You're a Halo fan. It's like if we saw another Metal Gear Solid game that looked just like 1, 2, or 3, but just newer.
Yeah.
A lot of people could go, well, that's not new, but we'd go, you shut the fuck up. It's Metal Gear Solid, right? So, like, I'd imagine, like, if you're a Halo fan, you probably don't care. But as someone who appreciates the series but wouldn't necessarily be a fan of the series, I didn't really see anything that made me go, wow, that looks like something I absolutely need to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked, the nice thing about it, actually, this Halo Infinite, was how fast paced the gunplay was. Like, how Master Chief was just, because usually, like, in the Halo games I played, when you go up to a gun, you have to, like, hold or B or something. It would take a couple of seconds, and it was really slow, him, like, dropping his gun. Like, the gun he has at the moment, he drops it, and then he picks up the next one, and then he moves. But at this, it was so seamless, like he just get the next one, and he just pop a couple of enemies in the head, and then he just keep going. And then, like, it looked like the game kind of offered a bit of creativity with the grappling hook, like the fact that you use the grappling thing to pull the explosive canister and then throw that and stuff, like. Yeah. So that looks like it's gonna be fun, but again, I kind of agree. Like, again, it's not textured. Nothing was like again, Master Chief's armor was very bland looking. One of the main enemies, I think we say at the end of the gameplay yoke.
Right. That was weird.
His facial animation was really bland. Yeah. There was no real textures on him. So
they almost looked like, I thought that's the kind of brute dude at the end.
That's the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
It almost looked like, when you see like the cutscenes for like RTS games, and generally RTS games, the characters are not very detailed because generally the camera is far away from them.
So many
of
them
don't need to be.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get that close up kind of cutscene. It kind of looked like that. Like, it was honestly one of the worst looking character models I've seen this generation on anything, which is odd because it's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So the game looked
I thought it was all right. Like,
I thought it was actually I thought it was kind of funny that they had Bungie shown the Destiny 2 coming out.
Right, yeah.
Which I actually think what was shown of Destiny 2 looked way better than what was shown of Halo Infinite. Like even gunplay wise, it's just kind of funny that I just think 343 just they haven't got it, man. I don't think they've ever got it. Like Bungie, really.
When did they kind of come on board? I don't remember.
Halo 4.
Which was
4.
Halo 4 was their first one, was it?
And that's from then it kind of started to go downhill.
Okay, and before Halo 4 was what, Halo Wars and stuff?
Yeah, that was
Halo
Bungie.
Wars was Ensemble Studios, but I mean Bungie did 1 to 3, they did ODST, and they did Reach.
Yeah.
Very good. So Halo, which was the main kind of draw, didn't really grab us. Did any of the games grab you?
Everwild did.
Yeah,
I feel like
Rare Studios, no?
I don't know who did it, but it looked really interesting. It's stylization of graphics, and it's kind of like tribal family working and dancing with nature, making like everything work. Like
you're all about that.
Yeah, bro, I'm all about the nature and the dancing. It's cool. Dance naked around the fires like a Celtic god. Anyway, while it didn't really show gameplay, I could tell what kind of gameplay was going to be with it, and I just could tell that this was going to be a very creative and compelling game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely displayed more. I think it was definitely more a realistic representation of what the game itself might be, as opposed to some of the really cool trailers. Or like Stalker 2 looked really cool, or the Warhammer one looked really good, like cool trailers. But you're like, I don't know what the gameplay is gonna look like. So...
I watched that Warhammer trailer about 5 minutes ago before we came on. I was like, this looks class.
Oh, you had no idea? Yes.
No,
I didn't see that.
It does look good.
The trailer was good.
Trailer was great.
I have no idea. Like, is it first person? Is it RTS? Is it like I don't know what the actual game is gonna be.
Is it even an exclusive?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, it's timed. It's a timed exclusive.
Yeah, I think it is timed.
But Everwild grabbed me too. I thought the artwork was really cool for it, and I do think it's obviously taken some kind of inspiration from games like Breath of the Wild or Journey, those kind of really stylized artistic games. But yeah, I'd say it's got beautiful visuals. But there was another one that grabbed me as well. Adam, which games grabbed you?
I think the one that really stood out to me was The Medium, because it was the only one that actually kind of not only was there a trailer, but there was also gameplays for it as well.
Yeah, it looks
which is definitely important when you're trying to sell a game, I think.
No,
but
stop it.
Yeah, at first I was like, wait, now is this another like Alan Wake, or is it Silent Hill?
Same thing.
Or...
I actually was like, is this going to turn out to be kind of, because it seemed like as it was going on that the reveal was going to be something that and that you were and then you were going to go, oh my god, and I honestly thought it was the next Alan Wake, or like they had kind of like that her surname was going to be Wake, and it was going to be something Wake or something. I did think it was I don't know, was it the same studio?
No, I don't think so.
Right,
no.
Okay.
Like that to me looks interesting, but I have a feeling it's not going to be great.
Oh, I thought it looked really good, I have to say.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more about it, because I'd love to be proven wrong. In fact, I'd love to be proven wrong on absolutely everything I thought about this event. But there's just something about it, because I think you play the bits simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like it's split screen and you play it too. So I'm just wondering how. Hopefully it's really innovative and it adds like something new and fresh. But I'll be interested to see how that actually looks. But the concept, I think, is really, really fresh and interesting.
Yeah. Those two grabbed me. I did lean more towards the Medium now than Everwild myself personally. But it is the kind of game I think I would enjoy. It looked like it had probably an interesting story, an interesting character. The artwork was cool. And yeah, I think the fact that it showed gameplay and it looked like a game with sort of a complete vision and not just an announcement of a game that is to come. Like even like the Avowed trailer, it was like, it's a cool trailer. No idea what that game is. Like no idea.
That would look great.
It's an FPS fantasy game set within the same universe as the Pillars of Eternity, which is another game. There you go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But it's so.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
It's their competitor to the Elder Scrolls for sure.
Yeah.
I got that.
Which I think is that could be good.
Yeah.
a good. I don't know whether the game could be any good, but I think it's very compelling for Microsoft to own that studio now and to be developing those type of games. Because Obsidian, like a lot of people say that they made the best Fallout. So to have that team and those writers making essentially competitors to what Bethesda can offer, exclusive to Microsoft, I think is really compelling. I think a takeaway from the event is just the diversity of games. Like, although I would love to have seen more gameplay, but I know it's still early days and it's just promises. I would have preferred if the promises were a little bit more compelling, but the diversity of games that they're offering, such as Everwild, some horror games.
Grounded was another one that caught my eye.
Grounded, which I thought that looked pretty good.
That looked pretty good. I actually thought that.
I haven't seen that one actually,
so it's basically
kind of looks like Fortnite a little bit, doesn't it?
In terms of style, it does, but the concept is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You play as really, really small kids.
Trying to
like build huts and stuff in a garden.
Yeah.
And then you have to fight off like giant insects and spiders and all. Some of it looked
kind of cool. There is a
yeah.
building element to it, like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Where you can build shacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I saw that before before even the Xbox Series X date was even confirmed. They had a trailer for that ages ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? I hadn't seen it before this, so I actually thought that one looked like a really fun one for like multiplayer games and stuff.
So that's one thing I thought was really good, because the reason I never really got into Xbox as a platform and kind of gravitated towards PlayStation more is just I've always found that PlayStation was more diverse in terms of the types of exclusive games it offered, and for me Xbox was always just racing and shooting, and that's it. That's all you got, whether it's like Gears, Halo, Dead Rising, and then it's like the Forza games and stuff like that, and that's essentially it. It's just such a bro machine. But now we're starting to see like all these really, really talented studios offer things that that are just so different and so fresh. Whether it's that Everwild and all of them seem to be as well like really experimentational with their gameplay elements. So I'm really looking forward to see what these actually end up being outside of just the CGI trailers.
I think it is a shame that we didn't get to see some of Hellblade. I know they talked about it.
Yeah.
They obviously weren't ready to show it, but that game I feel could be a console seller. The fact that now it's Xbox exclusive, I think that's a game that and like sometimes the exclusives are the ones that sell the console in a way, because if they go on both platforms it doesn't matter because you get them anywhere. But when it's like now I must buy that console so that I can play and follow that series, for example, right? Which is one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I've always leaned towards PlayStation, is the actual series that I like and want to follow tend to fall on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Like Naughty Dog, I love their games. They're PlayStation exclusive. Or Final Fantasy VII Remake, even though it's a timed exclusive, like it's going to come to PlayStation first. Like, fuck yeah, I want to make sure I have part 2, at the same time as the rest of the world. I'm not going to wait a year for it. So, but I think Hellblade has a possibility of being like a console seller, because I think the next one is just going to be much bigger than the first one, and I think people are really going to gravitate towards it. I think it's going to be like mind bending.
I hope it does well.
I hope it does well. I think it looks good.
I hope they really expand on the gameplay and make it a little bit more action. Because that's the only thing that for me, Hellblade, just the gameplay was a bit.
I heard that as well.
A little bit boring. So hopefully they're expanding that. But yeah, I can't wait to see more of Hellblade. I do think it's their most impressive looking game.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The graphics.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, that sums up our thoughts, I think, for the Xbox Series X Games Showcase. The games that we were excited about, what we thought about the showcase as a whole. Eric, you should probably watch the showcase as a whole just to see the actual experience of it put together. You might like the bits in between and the little interviews and stuff.
I do want to see the video where you're talking about the whole thing coming apart, because I think when we watched the PlayStation one and I had the reveal of what the console looked like, that was just beautiful. So I do actually want to see when they take apart the Xbox.
Yeah, they do it a couple of times. It's only quick, but I liked it because I thought it was cool them showing off kind of what's actually inside, what looks, because I remember I kind of bashed the design a little bit
Yeah, you did.
in
Yeah.
that I was like, it just looks like a box, and I wasn't too impressed. Xbox, yeah, of course it's a box. But having taken it apart and seen all the bits, I was kind of like, actually seeing it laid out that way makes it look more. The design is actually kind of more intricate in a way. So I thought that was cool. But yes, would love to hear from other people. What game are you most excited for the Xbox Series X? Will you be getting the Xbox Series X? How do you feel about Game Pass and all of that other stuff? Do get in touch. Let us know. And thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye, dude.